Alright, so moving right along, we go into Chapter 6. And this one deals with more history of the characters, with Hayes, Jin, a bunch of the Torna people. And we get to attend the funeral. But we're skipping that. Because we get to go talk to Malthus. Oh, because we didn't get that. Yeah, there's also a quest around here, too, that we can... No, back to the plaza. Never mind. I thought there was another one over here. But yeah, the quests that we find in Endol are just, like, generic ones. It's, like, helping out the people. So we don't have to do those. Yeah, pretty... Yeah. Pretty empty. Alright, let's talk to Sinello. Yeah, let's skip this. Then we gotta travel over to the next area. Because now we have to head over to Tantal. Waiting for the loading. Yeah, so Morag is out and about doing her thing. We could just head over here. And it's like, oh wait, Morag is also going with us. But first, we have that little in-between. Because we see Morag over here near the ship. Because there was the Empress and Emperor Nile. A lot of back and forth. It'd be cool if we could just leave, but yeah, that's how it is. A lot of running. It would be cool if we could leave. Yeah, all this running around is making me tired. Just running around ASMR. So, now we should head back to the port. I think this has a location area too, right? Yeah, Critter Study. And... no. I think I checked last time too, didn't I? Well, they usually have treasure chests behind like people's thrones and whatnot. So I know they do that with Eulich Enemies. Zeke's dad. I think there's a chest back there. So, where is the closest one? Yeah, so let's do this. Which way?
We're here.
Alright, so it's to the left.
Let's get going.
Yeah, so we'll stay here again. That turns out we need to go to the port. Yippee. Yeah, so Zeke is now traveling with us full time. So we'll meet up with Morag in a bit. So let's teleport over. Just gonna go back up the stairs.
And we're you.
Okay, I'm ready to head out.
Alright. Yeah, because we talk about there are like two different armies here. And that's because the Emperor and Empress are here. Banner. Yeah, so now we're going to look for information on what is going on. So let's talk to Nazia. Ah, some of these weird bird people. Yeah, so she's talking about the Turkin. And then we'll head over here. Talking about ingredients. Yeah, so right now we do know what's going on. Yeah, somehow we come to the conclusion that the Turkin are here to poison everybody, but that's not the case. It turns out they are highly renowned chefs, which is pretty cool. Because we don't normally see... In this game, we don't normally see, like, the Turkin doing much of anything. There are only a couple of outliers. The one that had Finch as a blade. I think she was one of the few outliers. This guy talked about that, so we head over here. Yeah, some of the soldiers here just talk about like the other armories and whatnot. So, yeah, we won't attack if the other people don't, and vice versa. Alright, so we got this person to talk to, and then we gotta go up the stairs. Yeah, so poisonous substances, that was... Oh, I think Snififi actually goes to Temperantia. I believe. I think so. Okay, so they leave. Yeah, that makes it so that they do show up in Temperantia. Because if I didn't talk to them, they wouldn't do anything. Yeah, it's yada yada yada. Talking about soldiers. Talking about the battleships. Yeah, talking about the Emperor. And now we have this person. Yeah, pretty much just talking about the political climate. Alright, so now we got a Phoenix up there too. Or a Phonix, I mean. So we debrief at the inn and come up with any ideas. Yada yada yada. Alright, so the summit is being held at the Titan battleship. And then the assassination method that they are thinking of is poison because of the ingredients. And then the main meal. Yeah, so they did mention the box, but for some reason we're pretty much overlooking the fact that a giant box is in there that is the size of Rosa. And then the Turkin. Yeah, so for some reason we come to the conclusion that the Turkin are here to poison everybody. So, whatever. So we'll head over to the battleship. Yeah, we should be good here. Yeah, so we get to fight Rosa once again. And we also got some chefs to beat up as well. Because why not? Yeah, completely ignore the giant box there. That is totally not suspicious at all whatsoever. I'll just go straight into the banquet hall and
Look what I found.
attack
We've never
some
been here before, have
poor
we?
Turkin for like no reason. Which is sad too because they have a pretty good spread of food.
I'll take you all on.
So let's build until we get Photon.
One shot.
Okay, we got Photon. Yep.
Why not? Topple them!
Sure be a good time to finish.
Not everyone's getting excited.
now. Fire.
Okay, so wait to attack. Okay, there's one.
That was well
Okay,
done.
let's get some attack in.
Let me take it.
Spinning.
Let's get Photon again.
Gotcha.
Here we go.
You fight Poppy.
Why not?
Dumbly, dumbly.
This is where we
Alright, let's use Numa and level 3
Genesis Saber.
to take everybody out.
Opponents have no shortage of strength.
Or almost everybody.
double spinning edge.
Let's go for
We'll
this.
do it together.
Go for some extra experience. Even though we're not going to
Me
get
first.
a lot left.
Gotcha.
Because we're pretty high level to here.
Get them, Nia.
Here I
Let
can.
me take care of
Ready
it.
or
There we
go
go.
Morty.
Magnificent.
And let's go Cutie Pie.
Understood. Poppy will give it her
There we
all.
go.
Magnificent.
Ouch.
Down.
Hey, there we go. That's poor Turkin. Alright, so now it's like, oh, suddenly there was a big noise. And it turns out Vanna made a return. So let's take out Rosa. Alright, so let's go from behind.
Let's show 'em a thing or three.
I'll let you know if you start flashing.
Double spinning edge.
Okay, so let's go with Photon.
Well done. Maybe when
Everyone's
Okay,
getting
go
psyched.
Topple.
Opponents have no shortage of strength.
And I don't have rocks, so I can't do Smash. Smash would be pretty good here, but I don't need it. Okay, so yes.
Anchor shot.
we can do it.
Do some other attacks here. Let's go for Topple again. Okay, let's switch to Numa.
Obvious.
Uploading
Double
target data.
spinning edge.
Okay, let's do this. And then this.
Let's do this.
Opponents have no shortage of strength.
You shall not
Threat level is significant.
There we go.
shine. Drive. Take him out.
And then Nia can use this.
Fire,
Okay, so we have an orb on him. And he should be good.
Ruinous
There we go.
weather.
Pouch expansion kit. Yeah, pretty quick fight. Yeah, it turns out Bandit was a problem all along. And because of what he does, Emperor Nile almost dies. But Nia pretty much creates a distraction and heals him. So we can move on after that. Yeah, we catch up with Morag once again. And now that the ship is back, we can head over to the next place. Now we get to head over to Tantal. Yippee. Alright, here we are. Alright, so we have a little bit of running to do, so I'm gonna skip ahead. We'll have a little scene up here, but I'm gonna be skipping it anyway. So I will see you in the town here. So, see you in a bit. Hooray, we made it to the town. There's a little bit more to go. Alright, so another scene we get to skip. Yeah, because now we got to deal with Pyra getting taken. Yeah, so we gotta go talk to King.
And arrived.
Oh, this is where we were going.
I really have a hard time pronouncing it. Eulegitimus, or whatever it is. I could hear it like 20 times, and it's just... Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough one.
Wow! World has many.
Yeah, I made it to the palace. Alright, and to the next scene. Yeah, because we could break out and rescue Pyra. But, as you can see, because of New Game Plus, we get to keep her. So, definitely making this much easier than it usually is. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, because down through here we get Zeke and Morag.
Okay, bring it on.
But we'll just run past them so we can trigger the cutscene. And then we get Zeke. Zeke shows up. And then we'll just head on down. See how far we can go with
Okay, bring it on.
ignoring these dudes, because we don't have to open any doors, I believe. So we could, in theory, just run past everybody.
Huh.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, next scene. Skip it. Yeah, because we get a battle coming up. You just hop down the stairs
No!
and ignore.
We lost the upper hand.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so as long as we get to the trigger point for the cutscene, then we can ignore the enemies. Because they pretty much disappear. And then we have the main event.
Show me thing or three.
So we can get some attacks in. These guys are going to be pretty reasonable. So we don't have to do anything too crazy.
Why not?
We'll just build up the chain gauge. And then when we're able to, we can switch over to Numa. But I don't think we'll need to. Get a couple of attacks in.
Let me show you.
When we're able.
Please leave it to
Why
Dora.
not? Lay down your arm. We shall not
Attack now. There we go.
Right, Mom, we can do it.
Okay, let's do this.
Genesis Saber.
And he's done.
strong.
Okay. Yeah, pretty easy fight. Yeah, because of the laser that was fired, we are in a giant titan that is now headed straight down. So we pretty much have to find a way to stop it. So we have to travel down a little bit. So we gotta find the back entrance. I think it's over here. I think. Yeah, I think so.
Up.
So you just hop down. Yeah, once again, it switches us to Pyra.
Wow! World has many amazing places in it.
So let's
Data
switch her back
analysis
to
indicates we have
Mithril.
not been here before.
Oh yeah, let me check. Do we have that available? Or no, we don't have. Okay. I was gonna turn Nia into her blade form, but that doesn't happen until the next chapter. So that giant icicle over there, we have to knock down in order to move over to the pillars over there, because we have to go over there to safely head down. We can technically drop down, but because of the great height, we won't survive. There is a frozen lake in one of the areas, but I don't think it's near any of the pillars, and by the time we get here for the first time, it is frozen. So landing in it is not possible. So we pretty much just run around and ignore all the enemies here. Okay, so we can't break this just yet. We actually have to go up and around to break the ice around it. Because it breaks it free. And then we can break it. Let's see what we need here. Oh, we can just knock this one over. Okay, never mind. I thought we did need something for it. Alright, so now we have to go through the ruins over here and head over to that one, because that's the one we need in order to traverse down. Yeah, so we gotta go through the ruins here and make it to the bottom part of this. Let's see if I can do this in one go
Look what I
here.
found. We've never been here before, have we?
I think
Smells
we drop
fresh.
down here and then go this way. Does this go down? No, I'm gonna go this way then. No. Okay, so this is a dead end. Yeah, some of the places around the pillars here are dead ends. And it has been a little while since I've gone through here, so I'll have to remember where to go. Alright, I believe I have to go up. And it'll bring me down to the other side. Yeah, I think this is what we need. Yes, here we go. Okay, this we have to go to the right there, because we gotta go down. Yeah, because we gotta go down there. A little more. Trying to find a safe spot to hop over. Yeah, once again, we can ignore the enemies. There is a named enemy here we could probably fight. I think we didn't fight him last time because he's still roaming around, so we could probably take him on.
Let's show him a thing or three.
Tora will try not to get under Rex's feet.
So
Trigger.
Quicken arts.
Okay, so
Why
we're going
not?
to bring him
Sure.
back up here so that he doesn't accidentally like knock us down. So we're gonna try and get him over here. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You're for it now.
Waiting for him now. There we go. Alright, come on, Rex. Alright, should be good.
You're for it now.
Yeah, so even though he's level 42, he is a named enemy. So he's probably like a level 60 normal enemy.
Deadly twister.
Now would
So
be a
we
good time.
need to heal.
Exciting for you.
Whenever Tora gets up, we can set up that. Let's do this, we can get some health back.
No.
And then do that again so we can get health back. Do this with the topple. Nicely done. So we are good. Alright, so let's build this so that we can have Praxis do Cold Snap. I'll do it instead. So here we go.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Then switch over to Perdido so we can do some attacks.
Brilliant.
Deadly twister.
Now would be a good time to heal.
And then Mithra can do this, which we can switch over to Numa, so we can do Dead of Winter. So let's get this attack here.
Are you ready?
Blade combo, third stage.
There we go.
Awesome.
Ouch.
Get
There
a
we go.
winter break.
Alright, so we have one orb on him. We're going to do a little bit of attack, a little bit of damage on him.
Your royal highness is here.
Double spinning
No
head.
escaping for
Anchor
you.
shot.
Okay, let's just
Give
wait
it
a
up.
bit.
Put it. Hit it.
My
No.
threat level is significant.
To shine.
There we go.
Give it up.
Attack shortens
Why
before they
not?
don't reach their target.
Okay, so let's just wait a bit. Let's have Nia do that.
Anchor shot.
Yes.
Did you see that? We were so on guard all the time.
Do some attacks, and then we'll just go for
Sync
this.
it up, everyone.
Because if we were to go for a second orb, we would probably take him out because of
Me
Numa.
first.
So we'll just do this.
Gotcha.
Magnificent.
Okay, there we go. We got the overkill. We're going to use Nim to instant break.
Here I come. Ready or
Mother
go
Nature,
nutty.
give us your blessing.
So we...
Magnificent.
Oh, it didn't break. Oh, did we need something else for that? Oh, I thought it was...
Poppy ignition.
I think it was ice that breaks it.
And
Okay,
another
so
one.
round 2.
Magnificent.
Hit it. No.
Nima once again.
Radiant flare.
Magnificent.
Get him, Neil.
And then let's
Here
use Shiva.
I come.
Fear not,
Ready
your
or
monarch
go
is
nutty.
here.
Magnificent.
It throws the bathtub at him.
Tora.
And Cutie Pie to finish it up.
Right on time.
Naponic Axion.
Magnificent.
Alright, there we go.
Enemy break.
Dinner is served.
Masterpon. Stand with
Ooh,
Poppy.
there we go.
No way.
Nicely
We
done.
were awesome.
Alright, so let's unlock the node and then we can continue on.
Poppy honored to improve.
Okay, so 12% to reflect. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, there's a gravestone. Yeah, so we could also have them like right here too. It's usually easier to have the enemies in like an open area compared to like that guy in Moradin that's on the catwalk, because he does have a chance to knock us down. You're for a quest. Who's Melvin? What? I can't remember who Melvin is, but okay. Alright, so I'll try the slide here again.
Hey, look what I found. We've never been here before, have we?
Okay, so I want to be like right here.
Smells fresh.
Okay, I did make it. Yeah, so that's the only way we can get up here. And we have excavation.
Treasure acquired.
Freeze everything.
Okay, we just need another ice mastery. And it's just a chest, but since we are here, might as well get it. So let's give...
Looking forward
Let's go
to
to
working with you
Ichiku.
again.
You're all mine.
Freeze everything.
Yeah, so we'll open this.
You're all mine.
And ta-da! Faction Atlas. Yeah, so somewhat good for when we get here for the first time, but not really needed now.
Oh,
Alright, we will move on towards the center over there. Yeah, so this area is also a pretty decent place to farm with one of the rare weather patterns. We don't have it now, but we could get it like every 30 minutes or
Look
so.
what I found.
There's a chance for
We've
it to
never
happen.
been here before, have we?
And that is when the
Smells fresh.
level 80 enemies show up, as with the giant squid. They are pretty decent enemies to farm, at least for a little while, because they only show up during a certain weather pattern. So sometimes it's a little tricky to get them to show up because of that. But one of the giant squid is a named enemy, and I think he's like level 110, which is pretty decent.
Oh,
This is where we were going.
Because you could farm him for like a half an hour and then the weather changes. And then you'd have to wait. Yeah, because he also has a pretty decent chance of dropping a legendary crystal, and some weapon ships are pretty good drops from him, too. I was going to say, I was waiting for the music. And we also got one of the Napon up there, too. We wanted to get him. Or her. I can't remember who it is. That Napon is one of the 12 brother-sister pawn mini quest.
Wow! World has many.
Yeah, we'll be able to wrap up this chapter soon. You would think these stairs would be shorter. Alright, here we are, the head of Genbu.
And arrived.
Ta-da! Yeah, so a bunch of different cutscenes that we could skip and then move on and then go into the battles. And I believe this is also another potential one that we could soft lock in. So we're gonna not try and do topple.
I was never pushed me. Well done.
So we're gonna ignore that.
Please leave it to talk.
So let's Satora do that.
Ignition.
Why not? Hard work being so fast.
I'm on to you.
Attacks don't matter if they don't reach their target.
I'm on to
Yeah,
you.
it seems like I'm being forced to attack Mikhail.
I'm all set.
Alright, so we'll do that. Do this.
No longer with my feet.
Photon.
No one through the night. This
Yep.
way to mine. Nice.
I got toppled.
Try not to lose your footing now.
Never took you for a loser,
Should
Mikhail.
be good.
Are you watching, Pachoka? I'll show you what I can do. Double spinning and
Synchronization
Black
spirit.
Wing.
Okay. Should be good.
Chrome feather.
Laser. Hex machina.
Endless
I can do
night.
this alone.
Chrome
I'm finding it hard to carry.
Why not?
Okay, let's do this.
Bash. Ha! This is where we prove double spinning edge.
Spare you.
Double spinning edge.
Recommendation? Well done. Maybe we're not.
Okay, just wait to use Numa here.
Sword bash.
I'll handle it.
Double spinning edge.
We will make your dreams a reality.
Level is
Double
significant.
spin.
Okay, just a little bit more for Mikhail.
Weakness identified.
Ha!
Power output adjusted. Faster than the eye.
Okay, there we go. Numa is available, so let's go with Photon.
Endless night. Lucky for you.
Okay, so Mikhail is down.
Huh?
Can do it.
And take on Akos. So let's get some attacks in.
Double spinning edge. Anchor shot.
Let's do Pandemic.
comes to help out her brother in trouble. Thought my predictions
Okay,
were
Akos is done.
Gotcha.
Do some attacks.
Double spinning edge. Leave the rest to me.
Okay, we'll do this.
Together.
And then we can wrap up the battle here.
Me
Because we have
first.
another battle after this.
No way!
Yeah, I thought it was this one. Maybe it's the next one. I know some of them you can soft lock. And it's usually when there is like an in-between cutscene, like in the middle of the fight.
Poppy, you're outpowered.
Because for some reason the topple stance kind of messes it up.
Now I'm furious.
Okay, there we go. Inconceivable. Alright, battle number 2.
Look at me.
Now we have it.
Behold my will,
Put
my
your best
power.
foot forward, Lex.
Empty
All
moment.
right already.
Breaky.
Well done. Maybe we're not doomed.
I like your attitude.
Boom, boom, laser.
Ultra slash.
Focus.
Meh.
Heavenly disrupt.
Okay, let's keep going.
We can do it.
Double spinning edge.
Okay, let's go for Photon.
I'm finding it hard to carry.
Why not?
Stunned.
And double. Nope, can't do that one just yet.
I'll handle it.
Yeah, so that one is always a launch against us. Okay, so I'm thinking that one could potentially do like a topple soft lock. Because I didn't take him out. But there we go, chapter 6 complete. Whew. All right. All right, now for Chapter 7. Yeah, and Chapter 7 is when we start seeing some of the lore behind the series itself and delving deeper into the lore that's been going on, especially with the Zohar, the three main crystals of Numa, and then the other two. Yeah, especially the one that disappears, because there was a third one, but we actually don't know of it. I think we have a name for it. Because Klaus does bring up the name, but I can't remember what it is. So, we'll talk to the king again. Yeah, because at this point we don't have Pyra. Even though we do see her, technically we don't have her because she was captured by Jin and Molos. But we get to take a little bit of a detour. We're going to head over to Leftheria to recover the so-called third blade of the Aegis. So, let's head back over to Leftheria. Yeah, Funset Island. It's right here. That'll give us a clue as to where it is. Yeah, I think we just leave town and go up the stairs.
Whew. Let's rest a spell.
No,
Let's
down
get
the
going.
stairs. Yeah, we have Mithra this time around too, so we have access to Numa, which gives us pretty good chance of surviving a lot better than last time. We did pretty good last time, but yeah, it's much easier now.
Up.
Alright, let me double check Neo. We don't have access to a blade form yet. I believe it's after the end of this section. Yeah, so at certain points, certain blades are locked behind, like, story parts. Like Nia. Nia's blade form is locked behind Chapter 7, or at least a good portion of it, and some of the other ones. But after this, we could definitely switch her in, because it has been some time since we've used Nia as a blade. Alright, we can go into the Spirit Crucible, Elpis. Yeah, so we get a lot of different cutscenes to skip through here. Yeah, so we got the first one here. We have a traveling bard. Yeah, so if you're wondering where the Leftheria one was, well, here he is, for some reason. I'm not sure why they put him down here. It would have made more sense to put him back in the city, but that's just how it is. Gonna tell stories or not. Yeah. And he does something really special. So if you're wondering what Elemental Core Light is, this is for Poppy. This gives us the ability to turn Poppy into a light blade, which would make her the third light blade in the game. There are only two other ones, Mithra and Cosmos, which is actually very advantageous because those are the only other two light blades. But if you wanted to have another one, that's where we can get the core. And we could get pretty much one for every version of Poppy. But for now, we can move on. And I believe... I don't think I looked. I can't remember if there is a traveling bard in Indol. I can probably check later, because I can check the wiki for this. And there is one in Tantal, which, if you noticed, I didn't exactly
And arrived.
stopped and
Oh,
looked
This
around.
is where we were going.
So we could check Tantal later as well. But the big important ones are the crystals that we could get in Torrigoth, and then the overdrive protocols in Fonsa. I believe it's in Fonsa. Yeah, all the other ones do have some pretty useful stuff. But yeah, this one is also pretty good if you want to have the light version of Poppy. Tad expensive, though, if you did see. It was $1 million experience. So we are much better equipped nowadays, and we can pretty much just hop on down. Yeah, so I think I'll check Indol and Tantal after this for the traveling board. Because I could do that in between. Yeah, we don't aggro the enemies this time around because they're several levels below us. Alright, so we're going to go this way. Yeah, so once again, a lot of running around because that's all we do. Yeah, we just head over there. We could take the bridge, but the water is faster.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely faster. Alright, here we are. Yeah, so making pretty good time through this place. Yeah, it's definitely a big difference when we're not watching the cutscenes.
and arrived.
Oh, this is where we were going.
Yeah, we also got the named guy right there. I don't usually farm that one, so I can't remember what he drops, but we pretty much just ignore that one. So, I gotta go this way. So I gotta go through here. Yeah, that right side leads to a dead end. I always forget some of these pathways have a dead end. I end up going that way anyway. I think I'll memorize. Yeah, I can ignore that pathway back there because that path actually breaks. There's another way to get to that center point, and it's to the side. But we can ignore that for now. There is a Nopon over there for the 12 brother sister pawn quest, but we can ignore that for now because they're like down somewhere over there. I think they're to the side. Yeah, we just follow the lights. Okay, so that is another section. We got the teleport spot here and a... Oh, it's farther down. Yeah, all the running. So much running. It never ends. Doing pretty good for cardio. Alright, so down through here, just like last time, we have a couple of spots that we need the traversal abilities for. I think fire and something else, wind, I guess. And Dark Mastery too. We can also use that here, so there are a couple of places we can get to. But I'm pretty much going to be doing the same thing I did last time, dropping on in a couple of points and carefully making my way down. Because I just have to get down to that way down there. So as long as I can get to close to that, I can drop down safely. And there is a named enemy over here that we can pretty much ignore because we'll drop down to a point where it like stops being aggroed. Just gonna look around. I probably could go that way. So yeah, Nim is the right idea. Pretty much right below us. So we're gonna go this way. Okay, so we are good. Gonna go in here for a little bit so we can get away from the poison water, so we can heal. Because we do need the health for the drop here. Okay, we are good. Yeah, we did pretty good. We didn't aggro any of the enemies, and we could just safely drop down. So there we go.
And arrived.
Oh,
Not too bad.
this is where we were going.
Yeah, and there is another way of coming down to, I believe, using the Dark Mastery to pretty much do the same thing. But yeah, dropping down safely is pretty much the fastest way to getting down. Open sesame. See, it worked. Yeah, we have the next area with the spiders. So, since this one is a little bit longer, I will skip ahead to the next part.